right, looks like we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody's doing well. We will have some special guests with us today. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to join. And Mark, we are in the Teams meeting. Try that link that I sent again. Dr. Doohickey, how are you doing? Robert, welcome on the call with us as well. Eduardo, welcome back to the stream. Hotfix, welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the call. And Gabriel, welcome to the call as well. And hopefully we'll have Mark. And once Mark joins, we'll give another minute or two. We'll go ahead and get started. I hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Welcome back to the stream, Glenn. Good to see you again. Mark, I just sent the meeting link back to you. All right, it looks like we have everybody on the call.
Everybody on call.
And Mark, you'll probably need to turn your TV down or whatever it is that you're listening on. I'll mute you for a second, but Mark, you'll need to turn down the live stream and just listen on this because there's a delay between this. It's not in exact real time. But we'll go ahead and have the other guest go ahead and introduce themselves. So, Robert, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, this is Robert O'Neill. Nice to be on the call.
All right, thank you for that. And Gabriel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. It's Gabriel. Been 3D printing for a few years now.
Awesome. And then welcome back, Hotfix. And then Mark, do you want to introduce yourself? Welcome to the live stream in real time. Thank you for joining.
This is the first time I've used Teams. Hi, I'm Mark. I think it's working.
It is working. You got it working. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with the pictures. Give me just 1 second to open that up. And we will start with Gabriel today.
Whoop, we lost Mark.
Oh, wow. And my file explorer died for a second. So that was pretty awesome. Let me open up the folder with everybody's pictures again. Still haven't seen anything on the new printer. But a leaked real world photo of it showed up. Oh, that's super interesting. All right, and Gabriel, do you want to talk about this? I see you have a can of corn for size. That's awesome. And is this for Easter, I'm guessing? This is a pretty cool little print here.
You're on mute, Gabe.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep, you're off of mute now.
Okay, sorry. So I hit on mute twice. So the carrot is a candy dispenser. The corn was the first can that I found in the pantry. So that's a print from STL Flicks. So it was a lot of fun. It prints in all different parts. Each part is its own color, so it doesn't need multicolors.
So each of the pieces you printed individually. It wasn't a multicolor
Correct.
print.
Well, except the window. The window
Except
that
for the
one
window.
printed in that one printed in the brown and the blue.
Yeah, that turned out pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, my son loves it.
That would be dangerous to have in my house.
It is
I would
dangerous to have
empty that thing out all the time. That's funny. All right, let's see what's next. And go ahead and Robert and Hotfix, if you guys have any comments on the print, feel free to comment on it. And then here we have a can for reference, and this is one of those really cool. I think they actually use Robert. We were talking about AI before the stream started, but I think this is a generative AI design or whatever. They use like a silhouette and then use AI to make all of these little extensions or whatever. But this is a cool design. Where did you get this one from?
This one I got from Maker's Hub. It's a print that I printed for my niece that she loves cats.
What filament is this? It almost looks like a pearl.
So that filament, that one is actually a zero silk PLA.
Silk, yeah. It almost looks like pearl. It's a really, really cool color.
Yeah, I thought it was white. I gave it away, so I don't have it in front of me, so I can't see it. But now looking at the picture, it was a zero silk white.
Yeah, really, really cool color.
Do you pronounce it Voronoi? Because that's like the Doc put it in the chat. It's VOR. I don't know how you pronounce that.
It is a cool color.
Yeah, with the lights, with the RGB lights, it has an interesting kind of glow to the filament or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a pearl iridescent thing going on. It's very cool.
Yeah, if you look at like how the light reflects off of it, it's really, really interesting. It's like it's different colors in different places, which makes it look really cool.
Well, it helps that my printer has lights that I put on the border and they're RGB, so they might be reflecting the lights from the printer. But yeah, it's more I guess a silk white, regular silk white. So it might just be reflecting the color from the printer.
Yeah, it reflects it really well. It has like a really cool iridescent with the RGB lights on there.
Yeah, I did have to print it twice. The first time it failed.
Yeah, I was going to ask how many supports it had.
Not a lot, actually. You'll be surprised. If I remember correctly, it was
I bet stringing was a problem.
Say that again, sorry?
I bet stringing was a problem.
It was a bit of an issue, not as big as I was expecting it to be, but I didn't get a bit of stringing.
Did you adjust any of the retract or any of that, or did you just run it as is?
No, I run it as this because I left it overnight and I found it in the morning finished. So I just clean up the stringing.
Yeah, it came out good.
Yeah, it's really sharp. What layer height did you use?
I would have to open the file, but I'm pretty sure it was 12.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it looks high detail. That's really cool. There's something you couldn't. What do they call it when injection mold? You couldn't injection mold that.
No, it would fall apart. It would, or it'd be some kind of crazy injection mold to make that.
Injection molder would just fall over.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's any way you could do that. Really,
It would
cool.
have to be blow molded and machined afterward.
Yep, yep. You'd have to machine, and then I don't know how you would get into some of those places with a tool to machine it. Like up in here, on the inside of this, to hollow this out right here, that'd be pretty tough. Or even the
It'd be
inside
done
of the
blow
legs.
molded.
Yeah, it'd have to be blow molded. Yeah, and then you just have to cut each one of these little things out without breaking it. But think of how long it would take to do that versus just printing it. You could print 10 of these things before you could do all of that.
Voronoi.
Voronoi. That's funny. All right. Oh, this has turned out cool. 20 millimeter out of a F-16, I'm guessing.
Yes, so the
That's really
one
cool.
the real one was gifted to my son by a former F-16 pilot friend of ours. He actually shot that shell in Afghanistan. He actually shot that shell in Afghanistan. So,
Robert, you're gonna need to mute yourself.
Yeah, you can't watch the stream at the same time.
Robert, you're gonna need to mute yourself.
Yeah,
There you
Robert,
go.
you can't watch the stream and talk on this because there's going to be like a 10-second delay.
So anyway, so I found this mount, a similar mount actually on Maker's World, and I modified it. The mount was for the F-35, which is 30 millimeters. So I modified the mount, the words, the size, and to make it work for the 20.
Yeah, that's really cool. And where did you get this model from for the actual
That's
route
that's on Maker's World.
on
So.
Maker World?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And
Yeah, I did send you a list of all the filaments that I use for everything. I might have gotten the one for the cat wrong because I'm pretty sure I put bamboo white when it was the silk. But
we'll have to see if it comes up on this little thing here.
Yeah, Gabe is the one who gave me the idea. You can see it there in the background for the glow in the dark manta ray, or what do you recall that?
Oh yeah, I was
that's-
wondering. Yeah, this looks familiar. These manta rays in the back.
yeah, so those I printed, and you'll see one of my prints is using pretty much the same filaments. So I printed that one, glow in the dark, and then Hotfix liked the idea, and he went with it as well. Which I think they look amazing in glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
thought it did.
And I like how I'm looking at the shell of the I guess you call it round. I'm not seeing like any artifacts or any ringing on there. That's impressive. Oh wow, look at you.
All right, so there's all of the filaments used in the print. So that's nice for us to have. We'll keep referencing back to this. But really cool to send that in. So here's the bullet and the mounts.
Yeah, and obviously the one below is a real bullet, so there's no filament for that one.
There's no filament for 30-year-old brass.
Well, that one was shot, I think it was 2014, I believe, he told me.
It definitely looks like it's been around for a while though. That's
Yeah, well, my friend was deployed in, I think it was like either 2012 or 2014. And
Yeah, it does look like there's some text on the bottom of the printed round casing. Something millimeter.
Yeah, so 20 millimeter. That's the
Okay.
size of the bullet. Then it tells you the model, the PGU 28, and which is the type of round they used.
Weathered brass filament from Sunloop. That's funny.
Doc, if they made that filament, I would own it. I'm just saying. I have like 3 antique brass and like only one of them is any good.
That's really funny. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, that turned out cool.
Yeah, so this one, this is actually designed by my 10-year-old son. He did it on Tinkercad. He needed to do, for Valentine's, he needed to do something so other kids could put in cards and candy for him. And obviously he couldn't do a shoebox like every other kid did. He just couldn't make it easy. And he went and designed this airplane based on a real airplane called the ATR-72, I believe, which is used for cargo. So he made the cargo door that actually opens, so you can see the hinge, oversized hinge there.
That's incredible. I hadn't seen this one yet. This is incredible.
Yeah,
And I like how the
turned out really
raised
cool.
lettering. I like how the raised lettering on the door. It's just black on the very top. That's really cool.
Yeah, so the letters, we didn't have time to actually print multicolor, so we just printed the letters, the top of the letters separate, then we glue them. Same
That's
with
smart.
the red heart. The red heart is actually a cap that we just printed and put on top of the white part that was printed with the airplane. Then the engines, those were actually painted with a brush after printing because we didn't have time. We ran out of time to finish it on time for take it to school.
That's incredible, man. I like Robert said, that's great for 10-year-old. I think that's incredible for a 10-year-old. That would be great for me. I can't do that.
Oh, he's teaching me how to use Tinkercad.
I need to show this to my son, and he's gonna be like, I need to get back in Tinkercad.
Yeah, that's incredible. I could get close in Fusion, but I don't think I could get all the way. There's a few. It'd take me a while on this stuff right here. And on these engraving things right here, those things I don't have a good idea on how to do. Most of the other stuff I think I might be able to get. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's not just squares and everything. Like there's a lot of round shapes in there with squares on there, with letters on there, with hinges and openings. There's a lot of design work in there. It's really cool.
He spent like a week designing it and printing it, and we went through a couple of versions. But it was a lot of fun for him to design it and to print it.
So when is he starting up his own Patreon?
Well, he did publish some stuff on Maker's World that he did. He's learning to design, and he loves it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, really, really cool. All right, let's see what's next. All right, those turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, so this org has their design from a Flexi Factory. So those I printed, everything is using Bamboo Labs filament on the Orcas, except one Orca that is not in this picture. And it's a Bamboo Black Red. Then the white one is actually a white filament that they release for a special edition in between December and January December 2023 and January 2024. I bought one roll and I never used it until like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. So it's glow in the
they
dark.
they turned out really, really cool. Wow.
How do you get them to glow that bright, or is that just you're overexposing the picture?
No, I took the picture with my phone.
Okay, it just
Do you
came
have
out
a
that bright.
black light
Came
or
out
something
that
like
way.
that?
I did put a black light before turning off the lights in the room. Yes.
Wow. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like popping off the screen right now. It's really,
Yeah, I have
really
noticed
good.
that the bamboo filaments, they shine a lot more than other brands in general.
Yeah, I've gotten zero complaints with their blue and their green and even their pink because it glows really well.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't sell this white glow green filament anymore. It was just a special edition, and unfortunately I only bought one roll.
I hate that. Because then you start to covet the roll, and then
Yeah.
when you get low on it, you're like, oh crap, I don't want to start halfway through a print. I hate that. But those are incredible. That's a really good call.
Hey, Colorado Adventure Club, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, these turned out really cool. Like it sucks that you can't get this anymore because you have to covet that one roll for the extra special prints, and man, hopefully you don't you don't get that print interrupted.
Well, I still have more than half the roll left, but yeah, I'm very careful what I'm going to use it for. Bamboo now allows you to request colors, suggest colors, I guess. So I suggest that they bring this one back.
Oh, where do they do that on
the website? You go to the website.
Yeah, leave that link in the chat if you can. If you can find it hot fix.
Yeah, it is on every page. So you go to the Bamboo PLA Basic. Underneath the colors, they have a link to suggest colors. I'm trying to find it.
I have it up right now. Oh, yeah, right here. It says can't find your color.
Suggest one here.
But does it have... I guess you would just do white, right? Like a white color.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I put a white color. Then I just told them, hey, the special edition that was released in the winter of 23-24, you should bring it back.
I wish they'd bring their PLA Tough back because it didn't sell well because they never had it on the discount like all the other filaments that they have. And the guy who runs he does a lot of filament testing on My Tech Fund. He says that is still hands down the toughest PLA he ever tested, and he's like coveting all of his remaining rolls. And I'm like, man, had I known that, I would have snapped up a bunch of. But again, they were like $25 a roll, so it was like hard to justify it. But I wish they'd do that with all their filament and not just. Sorry, I'm ranting.
That's funny. All right, let's see what is next. This turned out cool, and I think you have one more. Yeah, so what is the blue one? Is that the Sunlu or?
That's Sunlu white glow blue. I did buy a white glow green, so I'm gonna compare it with the Bamboo, see how close it is. But I haven't had a chance. But the blue also looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks really good.
I think the green shines a bit more, but I want to compare green versus green, so I might be printing another Orca soon.
I know I can get very literal. Shocker to anyone who's known me. But I like the blue one better because it reminds me of water. So even though green's my favorite color, I think the blue one is just a hair cooler.
Oh, I agree. Blue is my favorite color, so I printed the blue one for me. I have printed the other ones. My son loves Orcas, so I have printed the other Orcas for him and for his friends. But I didn't have a white glow blue, so now I have it. So I guess I can keep printing blue stuff.
All right, let's see what's next. Duck Dodgers. Again.
Yeah, so
This
so
is
the last time
another
I
one.
was
It's a good one.
so the last time I was here, I presented this picture of Duck Dodgers, and you mentioned, hey, you should print the rocket.
Yeah,
So I
I see
printed
the
the rocket.
And
So I
then
printed
you
the
have
rocket for
the-
Duck Dodgers.
And then I
That,
think
that silver looks like metal, man. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so that's the bamboo silk plus silver. So everything except the window is all the bamboo silk plus. So it's
Yeah, great
the
silver.
Everything except the window is all the bamboo silk plus. It's the silk red. Then the one that looks kind of bluish is the Titan gray, I believe is the name. Which looks like a burnt titanium, like the bluish that you get from when you heat up the titanium.
really, really cool. It turned out really, really good.
Yeah, it was your suggestion to print the rocket, so I found one that I liked and I printed it. I didn't print all the pieces. It had more pieces, but I liked it how it ended up this way, so I didn't print the rest.
Yeah, sometimes less is more. That's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really cool little shelf that you have going on there. It's really, really cool.
Is that Musk standing there?
Looks like it.
Oh my lord.
No comments.
That's probably for the best. Oh wow. That's bigger than the Bamboo Lab build volume.
Yeah, so everything prints in different pieces, and you just put it together.
Okay.
So everything prints in different.
Very cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, so far I'm really liking the Silk Plus, at least on the 3 different colors that I've tried. They have printed really well.
And then this one is definitely bigger than the build capacity of the bamboo. With the 2-liter as for
Yes,
reference.
so that's not a
funny.
miniature Sprite bottle. That's actually a 2-liter bottle of Sprite next to it for comparison. So that one took, I think it was like 7 days to print. We actually printed that one last year, but I had to reprint the top of it because my wife accidentally broke it when she was moving it in the room. So I decided to include it. But that was, I want to say it was 6 rolls of filament.
6 rolls? Yeah, how long did this take to print?
It was like 7 days.
Then here's all the filament right here, right? 7 days to print. Wow.
Yes.
6 feet tall.
It looks like we have Colorado Adventure Club joining us. Welcome to the live stream. We don't have videos, so nobody can see you, so you can turn it off. Save the internet. And just mute the live stream so it's not reverbing like it is now. Yeah, so when you join, you can either listen to us on Teams or you can listen to the stream, but you can't do both. But you're not going to miss anything if you listen to Teams. All right. Yeah, 7 days to print this, and it's 6 feet tall. 6 rolls of filament. That is insane.
Yeah. So without the base, I think it came out to 5'11" and a half plus the base. So it's probably like 6'1", 6.5 inches.
Wow, that's really, really cool.
Yeah. So the story behind this is that we printed.
Why would it need to take 6 rolls of print? Why would it need to be?
Because of the size, it was really big, and I have to make it a bit sturdy as well, so it wouldn't make it fall over and sturdy.
What was the infill percentage on this?
It could be a much thinner wall.
What was the infill percentage?
Yes, it could be. So that I think I did three walls on that one. And remember that this is on a kid's bedroom, which he was going to play with as well. So I needed something sturdy that he could play with if he wanted to play with. But the story behind this massive one is that we printed one
That's
that
why.
it was like 30.
Kid's bedroom.
Yes. So the story behind it is that we printed one that was like 33, 34 inches tall. And my son just went like, can we print a bigger one? I was like, sure, how big do you want it? He said, as big as we can make it.
Meanwhile, the truckload of filament's backing up to your house now.
Yes.
So
I
we
could have
thought
actually
that
gone a bit
Hotfix
bigger.
had the problem with filament, but we found the real culprit here.
Well, actually, it's the other way around.
Yeah, I have like one of every roll. He has 1,000 of one roll.
That's funny.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's the difference between being an inch deep and a mile wide, or an inch wide and a mile deep, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's really cool. This is a
Yeah, and
really
the
cool one.
infill, I think it was either 10 or 15% infill. I have the file here. Let me just open it and I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's so crazy. How many plates was it that you had to build there? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 or 8 of them, right?
I think it was more. Let me find the file.
How did you join the seams when you split it up?
Well, when I glued it, so it was maybe so.
Did it already
18 plates.
Did you split it up into 18 plates, or did the model come that way?
No, I ended up splitting it up in 18
Okay.
plates. I think the model comes in like 6 plates, and I had to cut it. The model, I uploaded the profile to Maker's World if anyone wants to print it.
And has 12 rolls of filament burning a hole in their pocket, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
But still,
Yeah, so the infill was 15%.
but still 6 rolls if you're using bamboo and you buy it in bulk at 14, which you're going to need to for more than 6 rolls. That's like $84. There's no way you're buying this anywhere for $84 except for a flea market, and that thing will be full of fleas along with it. But $84 for this? Like, what would you pay for this? Like, if you went to like the Discovery store or the Disney store or something, and they had this sitting in there, it'd be a couple $100.
This would be easily 200 or 300 or even more.
Yeah, I would say 300. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be $200-300. So $84 of filament is not, honestly, not that bad.
No.
Not that bad at all. All right, let's see what's next. A little bit more close up. All right, I think that's all the photos that you sent in, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that turned out.
When
really
you
cool.
show copyrighted things like the Sprite can, and you don't show the name.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
And to avoid a copyright hit.
Yeah, I don't think they look at that, and we can still hear the stream in the background, Robert.
The S is obfuscated, so I think you
Yeah,
could.
it's Prite.
It's Prite. But that's also why I
Come
always
at me,
turn mine
Prite.
around.
Yeah, come at me, Prite. Come at me with them lawyers, Prite. That's so funny.
That's a 2 liter of cola.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right, let's jump into the next ones, and that's going to be Hot Fix next on the list here. So let me load those up.
This is so exciting.
Real human interaction.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
makes the stream way better. Instead
Just
of
want to add
me-
really quick. I just sliced the model again. It's 6,894 grams, so almost 7 rolls.
almost 7 rolls. Wow.
Oh, you throw in supports and stuff like that for some of the. Yeah. Okay.
That's crazy. All right, here's some St. Patrick's stuff. Thank you for all of that, Gabriel. Appreciate you sending that in. If you liked any of his prints, be sure to smash the like button. And yeah, Colorado Adventure Club, this makes the stream way better instead of me trying to fill in all the empty spaces of time with epidemic sound music. It's way better to have people on here. So
Yeah, this is sick.
yeah, what filament is this, Hot Fix? This is really cool.
Sorry, mine decided to go offline for a second.
Oh, nice.
That is.
It's
I got
the
it.
green clover little fidget
Yep,
toy thing.
I see it now. I just, for whatever reason, I have to like keep selecting live on YouTube. It keeps drifting. This is a green silk filament by a company called Pinrui, Pinrui, and I did like a shootout. I had this and like 3 other silk green filaments, and this was the one I felt was like my favorite out of all of them, and I ended up giving the other ones away.
Yeah,
But-
not seen this particular color of green. It's really, really cool. It's like almost like an emerald color, like a matte emerald almost. It's
But it's shiny.
It's like halfway in between forest green and emerald green. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, super cool. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, sadly I didn't get a picture of the side so you could see it really shine, but
You can see it shine a little bit on this
a little
picture.
bit, yeah.
But yeah, that turned out really cool. I like the little print design that it left on the bottom there. That looks cool too.
Yeah, I switched it over to concentric,
Concentric,
because
yeah.
it just didn't feel right to do it with just a straight line mono, whatever straight line one is, the default. And I gave these 2 of them. I gave them both to my kids, and I haven't seen them since.
Yeah, that's a nice little touch there. Nice little touch. And I guess on here it did the same thing too, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did it for the top and bottom surface. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really cool. Nice touch on that.
Green is my favorite color. That is the one I have most of the totes of. I have 3 full totes and maybe a little spillage into a 4th tote of green. So this is definitely the green go-to silk that I use when I want like a darker green.
Yeah, did you leave the name of it in the chat? Leave the name
I
of
will.
it in the chat. That's a really cool color. And not somebody that we've heard from before. So yeah, thanks for introducing us to that. It looks really good.
And they're cheap too. They're like one of the cheaper ones out there, at least last time I checked.
Oh yeah. Bonus points for where's Dr. Doohickey on the pronunciation of that one. Get the AI out to pronunciate. Pinrui? Was that what it's called? Pinrui? I don't know.
I mispronounce all of them. I'm calling it Pinrui.
That's what it looks like to me, but we'll revert the pronunciations to Dr. Doohickey since he voted himself the pronunciator earlier. I think he was right though. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, that turned out cool.
This is the Bamboo Lab Sparkle Green filament, which I don't use very often because I always like the ones that have more of an iridescent shine, but I figured for like, just kind of give to me a felt hat kind of vibe.
Can you use it in a sentence? Yeah, use Pinrui in a sentence. Bonus points if you can use Pinrui in a sentence.
Buy Pinrui filament. There you go.
I got a serious question for you guys.
Uh-huh.
What do you guys do with all these prints?
Well, the little dragons that you see in the hat, the ones I started accumulating last week, which I ended up with like 125 of them. I gave a batch of those, 2 batches, one to each of my kids to take to their class and hand out for
Right,
St.
right.
Patrick's Day. And then I'm taking the other to, I go to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting Sunday night in person, and I take it and hand them out there, and everybody loves it. And but then like the hat and stuff like that, I have so for like Halloween, I had a giant Lego brick orange pumpkin head candy dish. All that stuff goes into storage in like holiday boxes. So I'll bust this out again next year and reuse it.
Okay, I was just curious because I remember seeing that one dude's collection. Because I when I was printing like just random things, like I was like, oh man, my shelves are filling up,
Yep.
So it's like crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm just curious. I see like a lot of these cool things, and I'm like, oh man, I'm running out of space to do all this stuff.
That's why a couple weeks back I 3D printed what was somebody called Shelffinity, but I hacked it and or I should just say remixed it, and I made a wall mountable display case for all my little figurines like this, and it's already full. So now I need to print another level for it.
You guys keep busting out some awesome prints every week, so it's awesome to see this stuff.
It's not hard to do when you have 0 life. So
I like Gabriel's response. You got to find an outlet to give them away, because if you're married, you'll probably have to find a lawyer or you'll get divorced if you keep all of that stuff. So yeah, you have to find an outlet to give some of this stuff away. But it's really cool, like with your kids and stuff, like with Valentine's Day and Christmas and this and that,
Right.
and your meetings and everything. Like, it's a really cool way to stand out and be creative. And like for your kids, that's a really good lesson to teach them. That's a really good life lesson, right? Somebody, when I was really young, told me if you want to be successful, to separate yourself from others and to be memorable. And, doing little things like this, I think helps with your kids. And then it helps you to also, kind of separate yourself from others, not doing what everybody else is doing. And then people remember that type of stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I apologize for the off topic, but I was just super curious.
No, that's a really good question.
Because I mean, this thing is awesome.
Yeah, I really like that filament in the hat. It works because it almost looks like, especially in this angle, it almost looks like a felt hat or whatever.
Right, and the multicolor is just flawless.
The hats was just the black and green, and I printed the belt buckle separately out of Mika 3D or Mica 3D, MIKA 3D gold silk. And then I printed the next picture after this is I printed 4 different clovers that it just sticks on the side. There's a little notch cut out of it, and I printed 4 of them. The Pinrui is on the bottom. Top right is Polymaker's Periodite, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, green. And the top left is Esun. I think that is either the Chameleon or Magic, where it's kind of like a slightly translucent, slightly sparkly. But my daughter chose the Bamboo Lab green PLA version. And I was like, really? You want the basic PLA? Yeah. She wanted that. She said the other ones didn't stand out as much. I was like, okay.
That bamboo green is cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of green, that's one of the shades that you think of. But yeah, that's super interesting that she chose that one out of all of the choices. I like this Sunlu one. I do like that almost translucent appearance that it has. It looks like like hard candy almost.
Yeah, yeah. And if I said Sunlu, I apologize. It's Esun. I do
Oh,
that because
Esun.
I flip them in my brain because they both have the word sun in the name. But yeah, yeah, that's a fun filament, and yeah.
I'm a sucker for neon.
So those are gonna, since those aren't going on the hat, those are gonna just become random table decorations that I just set out when I set up a little handout station.
Perfect.
Yeah, really cool. All right, let's see what's next. Ooh, the benchy. What happened here? We had a
So
couple
I have been
failures.
I shared this because I wanted to share the lesson learned that I got is I started having random clogs on my X1 carbon, and I even put a brand new nozzle in, and for like 2 prints it was fine. Then it started messing up again. I was like, what is going on? I went and printed a benchy, and the very one on the left had the same whole line, and I stopped the print when I saw it, and I picked it up, and it just popped right off. And that normally looks like you have, that's like if you're having clogging issues, that you're starting to have like small or minor clogs, it'll look like that. And I did like 3 or 4 cold pulls, and I stuck in zeros or Zyro, depending who you talk to, cleaning filament, and I noticed the extruder gear wasn't catching it and pushing it through. And I was like, how many hours do I have on this printer? And it turns out I have 6,500 hours on my X1 carbon printing. And I replaced the extruder, I think 1,500 hours into it because of a bad clog. So I have about 5,000 hours on that. And you guys know I run a lot of glow in the dark filament and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and so I printed the second benchy, and it had the exact same failure at the exact same point. I'm like, okay, this is not a filament issue. This is not a nozzle issue. And on a whim, I replaced my whole hardened steel extruder. I had a little spare kit for that, and just reprinted. This is the Speedboat benchy, right off the X1 carbons, the built-in one.
Mm-hmm.
And I printed it a third time after replacing the extruder, and it was fine. So now I know I can take the other extruder that I pulled out and just replace the gears inside, which is like an $8 fix versus a $40 or $50 fix.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to share that with anybody. If you start seeing random clogs and you swap nozzles and you're still getting clogs, and the clogs seem to happen in a very specific spot, and this is once again why I appreciate the benchy, because it brought to light the issue very clear for me. And I just wanted to share that in case anybody else runs into that. Anyway.
Yeah, super interesting. It's good to know. It's good to see where things fail and how you fix them, because then if this happens to us, then we know exactly what to do. So if you see something similar to this, check your extruder.
Yeah,
and it may go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm thankfully savagely lucky. I have 3 of these bad boys, and 2 of them have 2,000 hours. The other one has 4,000 hours, and I only have to replace hot ends just because it crashed on my stupidity starting a print without clearing the bed. But other than that, I just have once in a while a piece break off in the AMS. I got to pull it apart, take the part out. But I mean, I've been extremely lucky.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't jinx yourself now.
Yeah.
I'm just
now you're going to have 3 extruders to change.
Got new ones coming out, baby. We're upgrading.
Yeah, I was going to say, find some wood and knock on it real quick. And not the 3D printed kind either.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I'm just saying, there are machines out there that do. I mean, I run a lot of like glass fiber, carbon fiber. A lot of tough. I have one machine that runs just TPU and carbon fiber stuff only, and that one has the most hours on it. And I don't know. I'm thankful. I mean, these things are units.
Yeah. If you're
they are.
Yeah, 5,000 hours to change the gear in there, and you've run whatever you want to run through it, basically, it's pretty doggone good, I would say.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, my machine has 5,382 hours right now, and I'm going to knock on wood as well, because I have only had to replace 1 hot end.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Sorry.
good.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, off topic.
Yeah. How many of these total have you printed now, Hotfix?
I did 5 plates, and there's like 25 or 26 a plate, so it was at least 125. And this is the total pile before we split it up for my kids. And there's actually 3 versions, although the one on the left and the right look similar. It's a totally different dark blue filament for the body, and it's the bamboo mistletoe green on the left for the green, and that Sun sparkly green for the dragon on the right. So if you scroll down, yeah, you can see even there that those 2 dragons right there at the bottom. Yep. I love that dark green that's at the FF SMJ, whatever is the one in the middle. The dark blue on the left is the blue black inland from Shimmer from Micro Center, and the one on the right is one of those. I'm starting to see them more now where they have a core, where the core is a dark color, but the outside is clear. So it's technically 2 different filaments in one. The advantage there is you can print high speed and it still comes out super shiny. You don't have to slow it down 50 millimeters a second to get the shine out of that. But that's Shitu Box. They Conjure, I think, is the name of their filament brand line, and that's the dark blue on the right with the Sun green translucent stuff. Anyway, so I'm done printing these for at least this year. I'm all done.
On to the next project. That's funny. All right, let's see what's next.
Yeah, it's
All right.
another game. So I wanted to print my daughter some, for St. Patrick's Day earrings. I found this model on Maker World, and there was like 3 or 4 I pulled up. She chose this one because she likes gold is her favorite color, and which makes my wallet hurt. But the just Bamboo Lab white and green, and then it's a giant arm gold silk PLA for the middle, and
you got a good shine out of the gold. Like it's really shiny.
yeah, there's some surface finishes to it, and I don't know if it's because the artist chose or the model designer chose concentric, or if it was just like they had a low infill, and I'm wondering if they needed a higher infill for the top surface finish. But again, I'm done printing these for the year, so next year maybe.
That's funny. And I think you have a close up of it as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice simple design.
Yeah, and cool pattern on the top as well.
Robert, what did you say?
Nice simple design.
Yeah. Still above my pay grade to be able to design something like this, but
Oh man, that's probably one of the simplest.
Yeah, it's
So
just a couple
oh,
hearts. I could
2D. It's a 2D, 3D object.
Yeah, I think this one wouldn't be that bad. I think you could probably Hotfix. I bet you could design and make this in Bamboo Studio, all of it.
given enough time, yeah.
Tinkercad.
The
is
hardest
really
part
easy
on it is
fusion
recognizing.
to- Go ahead.
The hardest part on it is recognizing thing that is what you want.
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean though. Like my thing is like, is the heart too wide? Is it too tall? You know what I mean? The clover leaf. Matt, you know what I mean? Like you get stuck in I personally, when I'm designing stuff, I get stuck. Like, is it too wide, too thick?
Yeah, you micro focus on everything.
Yeah.
Analysis paralysis. Yep.
What's this radius, you know?
It's not time for Easter yet, Mark. That's next week.
Dr. Duke can give me 10 minutes infusion. Yeah, I think I can make this in a 10 or 15 minutes.
Hey guys,
infusion.
no 3D model shaming here, okay? Some of us don't have the skill sets.
No.
No, we're trying to inspire you to try it because that's how you learn. And we're trying to give you the tricks of how we're looking at it. so that you
Right.
can make it easy. So it's not, you're not trying to draw all of this and do like, it's just 3 hearts that are together and then, different sizes or whatever.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
But
It's
we're
too
trying to
easy to
inspire
steal
you,
somebody
not
else's
shame you.
design.
But it's
I-
basically like it's basically like you draw something in 2 dimension, and then you literally push a button and you can extrude that to a depth. You know what I mean? And that's how you get it to make it 3D.
Yeah, I did that with the Narcotics Anonymous logo. I traced an SVG, a Fusion 360, and I made a coin. But it's one of those things I don't. That was like a year ago I did that, and I'm like, I don't even remember what screen I go to in Fusion to do that. Like, I have to learn it all over again
Right.
because I don't do it enough.
That's the thing, is remembering what buttons what
Mhm.
they do, right?
Yeah,
You
well,
don't
Yeah,
use
I
it, you
use
lose
it all the time now, though. Most of the stuff that I print these days is stuff that I need around the house or in the shop, and I design a lot of it in Fusion these days.
Yeah, it's crazy once you have the ability. You can
Yeah,
make
once you hit the learning curve and you get over the hill or whatever on it, man, then you can just, and that's the thing, and that's what I did. Is I don't know if it's stealing other people's designs, but I see like a simple design and I'm like, okay, well, let me try to make that, and you try to make these different things, and all of a sudden, when you have an idea of something that you want, you know how to make it in Fusion or whatever. So that's why I say just challenge yourself and try to make it in some sort of CAD, and that goes for everybody out there. Try to challenge yourself, and little designs like this are great things to practice on.
learn something new every day.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
just keeping my head above water most days, guys. You're
Well,
asking a lot.
well, if it motivates you anymore, I started my business last September. I designed a part that goes inside of an RC transmission that I've sold over 400 units at $40 a piece.
Wow.
So
How much
it's,
does it
it's
cost to
worth
make?
it. It costs $4 to make them. So my markup is crazy.
You got to find that niche market. I think that's everything. All the 3D printing channels I watch and YouTube streams and whatnot. It's like if you can find that niche market and not post your model online, because the minute you do, once that STL is out there, whether somebody paid for it or not, it's in the wild,
Well,
and you don't own it anymore.
everything that I make and I sell goes through my website, and I have a name and everything. It's also a small community that these are being used in, and so
Right.
it's easy to identify those who leak said files.
Agreed.
But just heads up, dude, guys, I love it. I love 3D printing.
You're in good company, man. I tell people 3D printing kind of saved my life because a couple years ago, I went through a very bad breakup and divorce, and I didn't get out of the house much, and I needed something to do with my time. And I learned I've actually got a bit of an artistic side, matching up filaments, changing surface finishes, remixing the model a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And I can make some really cool stuff. I'm not nowhere near as good as Eduardo when it comes to the color combinations. He's got a gift, but I do think it's allowing me to explore a creative side I didn't think I had, which is awesome.
100%. Yes, 100%. Agreed. I'm same thing. Come from a dark place. This allowed me to get out of it. So, yeah, 100%. It's a good addiction. It is an addiction, but it's a good one.
It is a lot of fun designing something and seeing it out in the wild.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's people I look up to in the RC community, big names, and they're running my stuff, and it's just incredible to see that.
I do want to give a shout out to Doc. He did actually do a whole hour and a half tutorial for me for 3D Fusion or 3D Fusion
Fusion 360.
Fusion 360. Thank you. And it really helped me get going and learning. It wasn't so scary. So if you just need to figure out how to reach out to Doc, and
Well, yeah, let me know too, guys. I'm more than willing to help and let anybody know.
Yeah, maybe we do one of the live streams with Doc on here and
Let's do it.
he answers some people's questions on Fusion 360 Live or something.
I want to meet Doc.
Smash the like button.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, if you want that to happen, smash the like button or type W in the chat.
So anyway, here's the earring in practice. I got those earring kit, whatever, off of Amazon, and made sure it was like the hyperallergenic. They say it's sterling silver. I'm sure it's just plated, and it'll turn your ear green eventually. But
Yeah.
all that stuff you get from China is like, really? Is it really sterling silver?
If it turns green, it's gonna mash the
Yeah.
There you go.
the rest.
Well, those are
It's
good.
by design. It's not a bug. It's a feature.
Exactly.
Well, she couldn't wear this for very long because it's just around St. Patrick's Day or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think you'll be good. But yeah, if it did turn green, it'll be a feature, not a bug. All right, let's see what's next. More of the dragons.
These are bigger, and I put my kids, because I handed my kids the stacks or baggies, I should say, of the little ones. They said, "Hey, can you print us some bigger ones?" So these are 200% scale versus the 50% scale of the other ones, and they're giving these to their teachers. So the teachers get the big ones, and the kids get the little ones. But yeah, nothing really to see here. Just showing off the fact that I made a plate full. There was 7 on the plate. One of them I had to sacrifice to the print gods. Didn't make it.
Those look so sick.
Yeah, those turned out so cool.
That's by a modeler named Saber 3D, if I'm remembering the name right. Totally awesome person. They put out a lot of there's Zao 3D. They put out a lot of stuff that's that caliber, and they put it on Maker World for free. So they did the Love Dragon I did a month ago. It's basically the same dragon that just swapped out. Instead of the heart, they put clover leaves, right? I mean, it makes sense. But they have a lot of other cool designs as well. So shout out to Saber 3D.
Yeah, definitely. These turned out so cool.
And the eyes in this one, I actually used that dark blue filament for the little pupils. And you can't really tell. It's like,
Yeah.
I did a 4th color in here for like no reason. It was like, well, it sounded good on paper. But yeah, and I was the upside down one is just showing I'm still struggling with that BQ glacier plate, even at 65 degrees Celsius. You can't really tell that well in the picture, but the chin and the front of the paws, they lift up a little bit. And I'm just like, I've already talked to BQ about it, or Big Tree Tech, whatever you want to call them. And I want to believe they're good at customer support, and it's just either a cultural or language barrier. But it's like, no, guys, the answer you give me doesn't help. I'm still like, I see videos people printing with the Glacier, not the other one that's super tacky and only for PLA or PETG. But I got the Glacier one because I want to print things other than PLA and PETG. And I've seen people print with it and stuff's like stuck on there real good. And mine, I don't know. And I scrub it with Scotch-Brite blue scrubby sponge and Dawn dish soap, and I don't know.
Yeah, mine work perfect. I think you got a dud.
Quite possibly. And I need to reach back out to them and be like, guys, what are you doing? Anyway. Scrape the mic splashes. Shit. This is that same eSun filament. It looks blue in this picture. I don't know why, but it's definitely it's a bluish. Yeah, it's a bluish green in person, so it's not like pure green, but it's definitely not that blue. And I made this as somebody's design off Maker World. And I did Archimedean for the disc, and then I switched over to concentric for the white, and then they just had that little clover leaf thing at the bottom. I actually used some network. That's a copper strand holding it all together. It's a copper strand from a Cat 6 network cable. because I didn't have any string handy, and you improvise. But I made that, and my kids are taking that back to their mother's house so they can hang it there. Because I have another one that you'll see here in a second, that I have hanging in the window at my house. That's the one at my house. I made the little cloverleaf thing at the bottom 50% bigger because I didn't like it; just felt too small in the other one. And so that's it hanging in my window of my house. And if you go to the next picture from the one I did for myself, I did the typical hotfix thing, and I made it glow in the dark.
Yeah, that really pops out too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm happy with how that. Obviously, the silly thing is, in the day, you're not going to see it when it's supercharging, and unless we have an eclipse or something like that, by the time nighttime comes around, right, the glow in the dark will have lost a lot of that potency. But yeah, it's the thought that counts. So
Does the white go all the way through the model? The glow in the dark?
it does not. No,
Ah.
that's not very thick. Yeah.
If it did, you could like put a black light on the back of it and just always supercharge it, and then it would be glowing out of your window.
That
but
would
it
be
would
very
need to it would need to go all the way through for it to do that.
And I really
That's-
think the person who posted this model on Maker World, I feel like they grabbed two different models, threw them together, and
Mhm.
republished them. It was like, yeah, I don't think you, like if you go back one picture, the very top of the clover leaf didn't have a spot for the, yeah, you go down to the clover leaf, that D ring where I've got the cable going in. I'm in Bamboo Studio. Created a circle, added an object negative to turn it into a full circle with a hole in the middle. Then I cut it in half and shoved it into the model. So I did add that D ring, for lack of a better word, in Bamboo Studio. Created it and shoved it in there.
That's CAD, baby.
Yeah, I'm like the guy who'll design something in MS Paint or Notepad. It's like, yeah, you can do that, but why, dude? And I'm like,
because
I don't do
it's
anything
the
better.
easiest
That
way
to
to
me is
do
crazy
it.
hard though. Like for me to do stuff like that nowadays is like difficult.
Yeah, but doing things like that in Notepad or whatever, honestly, I use Canva sometimes too, because that's an easy way to make a PNG without a background. Or Notepad is an easy way to like just draw something out and get it in there.
Yeah.
And again, just like Colorado Adventure Club said, it's just a 2D drawing that you start extruding from there. If you
Yep.
made this D ring, you can make that earring.
Yeah, I believe you.
Because
I-
that's
I'm just
pretty
saying-
slick. Nobody would have ever thought that you made that, and it turned like it's not crooked. It's not. It doesn't look like a bird took a dump on it. Like
yeah,
it looks good. You know what I mean? And it's just half of CAD is just hacking anyway, dude. So it's just you just explain how you hacked. Colorado Adventure Club hit the nail on the head. Hey, that's CAD, man. That's how you do it.
I measured the width of all the other pieces, and I made sure the circle that I made sure it was the same width of the D ring. I made sure it was the same height. So I did try to mirror it as best I could.
See, that's CAD. What do you mean? You're doing CAD.
All right, we'll call it CAD light. We'll split the difference. Call it CAD light. Yeah.
CAD light.
That's so
But
funny.
that's what I'm saying. That slicer stuff, doing it in the slicer is difficult for me now. It's just because I'm so used to being able to
Yeah, one of the very
bring
first
that
videos
in
I
and then
did,
draw it and like actually make it.
yeah, one of the very first videos I did was putting a model back together in the slicer, and now I'd never dream of doing that. It's so much easier to do in the CAD, but again, but it took like this time last year, if you remember Colorado Adventure Club, I couldn't do anything in CAD, especially in Fusion, but now I'm pretty decent. I'm making like light switch covers and everything, and I could make it and print it out faster, and you can go to Home Depot and buy one and come back.
Yep, the attachments for your thing.
And that's designing it and printing it faster than you could drive to Home Depot and come back. So,
And once you
and
get
that's
used
just a
to-
year. That's just a year. But how did I do it? I just started mirroring what other people were doing, trying things out. Colorado Adventure Club, helped a little bit, showed some things.
Cool.
That's how you learn, and you just start messing with it, and you mess up a lot. I've had to start projects over that I've spent 10 hours on and just deleted them and started over.
Sometimes you go too far down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a
Go
lot
the
better
wrong
to.
way. Yeah, you go the wrong way, and it's harder to unravel everything than it is to just start over and do it a better way. Sorry, go ahead,
Sometimes it's
Robert.
better to start over or a project than continue. Oh, especially with a parametric design.
Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
love about
definitely. Yeah, and that's what's cool about Fusion too, and the parametric is, all your dimensions, you can make those just a variable, and then once you have the basic design done, then you just go in and start changing all of your variables, and it starts reshaping it, and it's really, really cool. Once you get the hang of it, it's super cool. You can do some really, really good stuff with it, and it's not that hard. And like if you just sat there for a while, you could design all of this in Fusion too. It wouldn't take that long. You could obviously just find a SVG and make it really easy, but you could even design all of this using the pipe thing or whatever.
Are they still doing the maker points for uploading designs and stuff? You get
Yeah,
buy,
I think so.
buy
I think
printers
so.
and stuff.
I think so.
Gabriel's
Yes,
been making some.
they
bank
are.
points.
Mostly when people download, when it reaches 10 downloads, they give you X amount of points at 20, at 50, at 75. So they do give you points.
I get about
SE,
2 rolls
so
of
funny.
filament a month.
Oh, really? Yeah, you upload a lot of stuff into there, Robert, and a lot of people download your models, I think, too, right?
Yeah, not as many as I want, but
Have you cashed out for a printer yet, like those other people I've seen?
not yet. I tore apart one of my printers last weekend. Took all the motors off it, and now I'm down to only 3 printers.
Only.
Only.
That's funny.
Poor guy, only 3.
I know.
But they're running 24/7.
Stupid things like that gave me incentive to like learn and try to do it. You hear about people like making money, and I was like, oh wow, I found something. So it's just, I don't know. I wanted to learn out of like necessity, just because having the 3D printer and learning CAD opens up like an incredible door to anything.
I've been 3D printing for 40 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow. Tell us about this print, Hotfix. Is this for
Just
Jeeps or whatever? Isn't these little ducks for Jeeps or whatever? Don't you leave these on Jeeps if you like it or something? Just kidding.
I don't know what you're referring to there. This was I just found in perusing. I just got a really cool roll of green filament in, and I wanted to find something to print it. No, this is just mistletoe green. I ended up printing it, and it was too dark for this. But somebody had a Lucky Duck model. It's really tiny. It's about the size, of the tip of my thumb, right? And I'm taking these with me to my meeting tomorrow night as well, and handing these out. So if somebody doesn't like dragons, hopefully they like duck.
Yeah, look it up. It's a Jeep thing, like in the Jeep community or whatever, they leave these little ducks on each other's Jeeps or something, and then you put them on your dashboard. It's kind of weird.
Okay, learn something new every day. That's interesting.
But yeah. So, yeah, if you find a Jeep community, you might have an outlet to make a couple bucks on these. They might like them. That's funny. Yeah,
And then
those
again,
are
it's
tiny.
Yep. And it actually, the original designer made it was like, this is like 50% scale. The original one was like 40%. And they were like, it only takes 2 grams of filament. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little too small. So
That thing's tiny.
I'd be worried about, inhaling too loud and sucking on it or something.
Like a bug, like a gnat or
Yeah.
something. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that turned out nice.
Real simple. Somebody posted a remix of it, or another print profile where they went into this slicer, where they it's all yellow. They slice it and then they go into the preview mode and they added a color change at a certain height. And I'm like, what are you doing? Just use the the color painting tool inside Bamboo Studio and do it at that. They like did it the hardest way possible. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna rework this. I'm gonna upload that profile to their post. This looks way darker in pictures. I couldn't get it to really show how green this is. It's a very dark green. They call it like a black green, but this is Zero or Zyro. This is their translucent sparkle filament line. I love the red. I love the blue. I love the orange or the caramel one. And so they just came out with this dark green one, and I bought it on the spot. And I was just having some fun with the prismatic plate. So
Yeah, it turned out nice with the prismatic plate too. This is a nice touch.
What
to it.
brand filament is that?
Zyro, I'll put it in chat.
Zyro.
I say Zero, but I've heard people pronounce it as Zyro. Yeah. And I don't know. You see, there's like kind of a rough transition on the outer wall, right a couple millimeters up from the base. That's just where it went from the inside having the solid platform, and it transitioned just to walls. And I don't know why it did that. This one I left it the 2 walls, and I left it the inner outer. And I think if I had moved it to 3 walls and did inner outer inner, it might have not done that rough transition. But whatever, it's cool. Now I have a dish to put my ducks in.
For the next couple weeks.
Oh, just for this weekend, yeah.
So cool.
I think I have another picture here in a second where I try to put it in the light with the ducks in it, where you can kind of see some of the green a little bit better. Yeah, again, it just comes off like so dark. And in person, it's a lighter green.
Interesting.
I'll have to get Gabriel to show me how to take better pictures. And this is something someone on the
Just get an iPhone instead of an Android.
No, thank you. The next picture is I think Robert, you might have done this one like a year ago. Somebody on the live stream printed these story. Oh, it might have been. I think it was actually Eduardo. Now that I think about it, printed these stackable boxes, and I've been collecting a lot of the builder or maker kits from Bamboo, where they send you magnets or double-sided sticky tapes, and I needed somewhere to. Wow, I went off live again. I don't know what that's about. So I decided I needed somewhere to store all that crap because I was holding it in all the little baggies, bamboo things, all that stuff in it, and it was just getting out of control. So I don't know why there's weird color banding on it. It prints the part facing it, the back part is prints build plate down. And I did 3 walls, inner, outer, inner, and I don't know why the colors like zebraed so much on the top of the box, like the side. Only thing I can come up with, because there's no inconsistencies. Like you run your fingers over the outer wall, there's no inconsistency there. And
it has to do with the flow of the material as it comes out the nozzle, and that particular material has a molecule in it that orientates towards the center, and because of the flow and the shape of the rest of the part, that's what's causing the discoloration.
Understood.
Particular material.
I printed, this is Giant Arm Silver PETG, which is like my all-time favorite utility filament. I've never had it do this before, and I'm pretty sure I also slowed down the outer wall to 50 or 60 millimeters per second, which normally addresses that. But yeah, I don't like. There's parts like when sometimes when the geometry of the model changes, it'll print the outer wall a little bit faster, a little bit slower, and that'll definitely impact the quality. This one here, it's like I have to reslice it and see if the slicer shows me like if there's speed variances. But you know, it's a functional print just for you, Doc. It's a functional print, so I don't really care if it's a little odd in the coloring. It doesn't bother me. But anyway,
Looks
so this is
good.
yeah, it does the job. And I'm gonna these are two of the standard size. I'm gonna print two more of the yeah, there they are. I'm gonna print another set of what they call the double sides ones, where it's like twice as thick, twice as tall, and you can join those. You can join the holders together. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to get that done for next week. So, and I decided not to get fancy. I just printed this on a PEI sheet, which is why it's got that textured finish. But if you go to the next picture, you'll see all the stuff in the organizers.
Yeah, these are really cool.
Yeah. So there's the earring bits. There's all the keychains I got from Bamboo, the suction cups I got from Bamboo. They had a sale on one of their Maker Lab kits where it had a little bit of everything in there, and it's like 50% off. And I was like, why not? So that's where 90% of this stuff came from, including those little eyelets that they're screws that they have a ring on the end. I'm like, I don't even remember what you're supposed to use those for, but anyway.
Yeah, that's really cool. Storage solution for all of those little kits. It's really good
Yep.
idea.
And it's a very Gridfinity-esque. It's not obviously not Gridfinity because they're way smaller, but it's that same sort of approach where there's a grid in the bottom of the boxes, and you can print different inserts, different combinations and sizes. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it now. My Bamboo, all my 3D model accessories things are all in. I have them all in one spot now, which is really nice, and I'm organized.
Awesome. All right, let's see what's next. Oh wow, what happened there?
I wanted to ask the collective group think. This build plate's already cooled down a little bit, but I was trying to print a quote unquote stained glass print. It's all out of PETG, all translucent PETG. This is Polymaker translucent green PETG. I cannot get this stuff to stick to the build plate worth a damn. I've washed it. I've dried it with a microfiber cleaning cloth so there's no dust on it. I ran this is PETG. I ran it at 240 Celsius, 250 Celsius. I ran the build plate at 80 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Celsius. I don't want to go too much higher than that because these are really just stickers on a piece of metal plate. But
Have you changed the orientation?
I did. I went from landscape to portrait on it, and I was still having the problem. It's just apparently letting PETG down. Go ahead.
Rotate it 90 degrees.
Yeah, yes, I did. Same issue. And it's just something about getting PETG to stick to a prismatic plate is very difficult.
How I've found the best way of getting it to stick to it is use glue stick. And the trick on that is after you put the glue stick on is use a damp paper towel or something to wipe it out and smear it around so the glue doesn't fill up the prismatic holes.
That's something I have not tried because I was always afraid that when you use glue stick, it would fill in the patterns and so the image wouldn't transfer. So,
Right.
But I haven't tried that trick.
And that way you can use glue stick on it without it filling it up. And it keeps a good thin layer. You need to keep applying it, but That seems to work for me.
Okay.
The other thing you might try is to slow down the first layer.
Okay. So go below 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
And
put the
maybe
first
change,
layer on silent mode.
yeah, or maybe change the first layer infill, or just play around with these first layer
I
settings
did
that you have here and
on
see if
this
that
particular
helps.
one. On this particular one, since it was going to be stained glass, I set all those speeds, including even gap infill. I set them all to 50 millimeters per second because I wanted maximum translucency. But I think you have a point. I should try going down to like 20 millimeters per second for the first layer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or
So
maybe even speed it up. Maybe it's going too slow. I would just try adjusting the speed, probably lower first, but I would try it going either way. Because if you
okay.
tried everything else, that's the last variable that you have is how fast it's going across the plate. I would assume that you need to slow it down so it has time to stick. But maybe it's going too slow. I don't know. You have to
Yep.
take a look.
I'll give it a shot. I'm printing it right now on the engineering plate because that's the next smoothest one I have compared to I wish they made a prismatic plate with no design on it. It's just that sticker, just a black sticker, so you could get that mirror-like finish.
Hmm.
But then I think I was saying that to somebody the other day, and they said, "Well, go get a Garolite or G10 build plate if you want that." I'm like, those are cheap. Those are expensive.
Hairspray is another really good idea.
Yeah, again, I was holding off not doing any adhesive because I was worried, like Robert was saying, I was worried that I would be filling in the micro grooves and mess up
Hmm.
the image transfer. But yeah, I think I'll stretch slowing it down first. If that doesn't work, I will try Robert's suggestion of a little bit of glue stick and kind of like try to spread it real thin.
Hmm.
And if that doesn't work, I'll give it a light dusting of hairspray, like Doc said. I'll report back.
All right. Thank you for all of those pictures, Hot Fix. If you liked any of
Got it.
those, be sure to smash the like button. Next on the list is going to be Mark. Let me get his pictures loaded here.
I've never tried the bamboo liquid glue.
I've only been using, I don't use glue all that often, but I've only been using that for a while. Yeah, Eduardo, ever since you said that it was really good several months ago, I bought some of it and I haven't used the paste glue since. And here comes all of the Easter stuff that Mark was talking about earlier. This turned out really cool. I think you showed this one last week, but you didn't have the little rabbits with it, right?
But we lost somebody. Oh, we lost Colorado Adventure Club.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Colorado Adventure Club. The
Wife
wife
added.
added the bunnies.
Think
Yeah,
she's
those
trying to
look cool.
tell you something there, buddy.
Yeah. Something like rabbits. Oh, wow. That turned out really cool.
Oh, very nice lithophane.
Yeah, glow in the dark lithophane. That turned out really, really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what filament is that? It looks amazing.
I don't know. Mark, tell us in the chat. That turned out amazing.
Or rejoin teams, man. I know you were in earlier.
It's just a tea light. Wow. It worked. Yeah, look at this one. So I'm
I thought it
guessing
was
this is
glow in the
just
dark.
shelled. Yeah, I think it's just shelled and there's a tea light behind there, but it's not glow in the dark filament? Because it's working really, really good.
Or maybe it's glow in the dark or filament with a tea light behind it.
Yeah, maybe glow in the dark filament with the tea light. No, he says no, sir, it's not. So this is just light green filament with the tea light. Wow, that turned out nice.
I bet that's got a really good light transmission distance because that's
It's PLA white. How did you get it to turn green? Is the tea light green? Because it looks like glow in the dark. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so
Oh,
tea
the
light.
tea
He's got
light's
a
green.
LED. Yep.
Interesting. Really, really cool. I didn't know they made different colored tea lights. You learn something new every day. Everybody search on Amazon for the link to that. That's funny. Oh yeah, here it is in the normal light.
Oh wow.
Is it the two rabbits on the different sides?
Oh yeah, is it this on one side and the other rabbit on the other side? Oh yeah, yeah, that's what he said. Really, really cool. Yeah, that makes that little thing glow. We're gonna have to check out them RGB tea lights. That turned out pretty good.
And it's like a pastel-y green color for Easter too.
And you don't
That's
need a black light or anything like that, and it looks like glow in the dark stuff and all of that. So, yeah, pretty good, pretty good.
super cute.
All right, let's see what's next. Oh yeah, this turned out nice too. Oh yeah, I like all the different colors.
Didn't
Really cool
Bamboo
design.
Lab just come out with a Maker World thing where you can do these like stacked
It
models?
says, oh, I don't know.
Hang on a second. Yeah, they just announced something, and I think you can do like 2D, 3D images. Maker Lab. That is an awesome. I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail from the print. I like the color choices. The dark blue really contrasts well. That's awesome.
Yeah, with the orange looks really, really good.
Nice job.
All right, let's see what's next. That turned out cool too.
Okay, yeah, the thing I was just talking about, they just added in its experimental phase. It's called the Shadow Box Maker. I'm putting it in chat if people want to see what I'm talking about.
Oh, nice.
Wait, same concept, right? Where you do layered, different colored layer on top of each other. But anyway, sorry, didn't mean to take away from.
Oh, that's good to know.
Oh, it's a bunny.
The bunny in a cup. All right, let's see
Oh,
what's
it's bunny
next.
soup.
Bunny soup. And I guess this is for little tea
Oh,
lights.
it's two rabbit. It's holding a heart.
Yeah, two rabbits holding a heart, and it looks
I
like
didn't see that
either
at first.
for tea lights or for a candle holder.
The bunnies have taken over. Again, I think your wife's trying to tell you something, buddy. Honey, the guys on the live stream said you were trying to send me a message. Not that that's how Mark sounds.
That's funny. All right,
That's really nice and clean.
Yeah, I like these. These ribs turned out pretty clean as well. Those are sometimes really hard to get to print right.
Looks like a gear.
Yeah.
The 1,000-spoke gear or 1,000-tooth gear.
I keep going for like these super intricate multicolor day-long prints and stuff like that. And then I see something like this and I'm like, sometimes less is more. It's so clean and so simple and it just, yeah. Good job, Mark.
Yeah. Good job, Mark.
Let's see what's next. It's a cool little sign. Where'd you get
Esther?
this one from? Esther?
Esther.
Esther the rabbit? That's funny. And this is on Maker World too. This turned out pretty cool.
Doesn't look printed.
You'd never, and you had to tell people that you printed this. They'd never ever guess it unless you knew. It should say Easter. It says Esther the rabbit. That's funny.
This is what you get for not rejoining teams, Mark. We're gonna harass you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, that's a little stand for it too, right on right in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I like those where they come with that. Yeah. Rabbit stir. God, dog. Oh my God.
That's funny. All right, let's see what's next. Ladybugs.
Oh.
I bet those look cool on the bottom too.
But
Those
those
are
are
cute.
small.
Yeah, they're tiny.
But the layers make it, or it's a design feature.
Yeah, definitely add some character to it for sure.
Yeah,
Reminds me of
definitely
those.
does.
Reminds me of those toothless Santa toothless prints I did where the person purposely designed them for 0.26 millimeter layer height, and the extra ridges looked like scales. It really worked. They leaned into it. So yeah, I agree. I like this.
Yeah, I think there's been some dragons too that have had the same effect as well. For like scales that I've seen out there. But yeah, these turned out really, really cool. All right, let's see what's next. More rabbits. That turned out cool though. It's kind of hard to see with this, but I'm sure up on the wall it really pops out.
Who hangs their eggs?
It's an egg mistletoe. Again,
Oh,
Mark's
that's it.
wife is sending subliminal messages with these prints. Oh, Colorado Venture Club had a power outage. All right, let's see what's next. That's a cool one. I like the color choices on this one. Turned
Yeah.
out really cool.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like very pastelish.
Mm-hmm.
Looks
What?
smaller than I thought it would be. Hey, because you can see, hey, the glue stick in the background for size.
Yeah, this one turned out really nice. I do like the pastel colors
Yeah.
in there. It's very, very spring-like. Really, really cool.
Oh, that's a bird. Yeah, the blue bird.
And I think the center of this flower is blue, is that same blue.
What color is the flower? Or it almost looks like
It's like a peach,
Peach.
but it's
Yeah.
but it's I'm guessing it's an orange of some sort, but it does look like peach. Pink.
pink. Okay.
Okay.
There's a few wisps of filament there, of stringing.
that you can
It's amazing.
you can only see in a photo.
I hate
Right.
that. I touch something up with a torch. I send you a picture. You zoom in, and I see nothing but hairs. I'm like, God damn it! I'm sorry. Gosh darn it! Sorry.
And it's amazing that you don't see more infill through the flower.
I know you can barely see it, but not really. It's a really good print. Yeah, there's no way you're seeing these hairs in real life. It's the iPhone micro focusing on the small details. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, another picture. And that looks like
Spring
that's
blue.
it. All right.
Is that the last picture you got? Because if so, I got a couple links for you, Lynn.
Yeah.
All right. In chat, I'm dropping in. They just dropped new colors for PLA matte, like plum and apple green, and a couple of different browns and stuff. I thought that would look really cool. And also, I'm going to put a link to the picture of the H2D that someone leaked.
Oh wow! Look at all those new colors. And then you said the H2D, is that what they're calling the new?
Yep. Click the other link I just threw in chat. And you can actually zoom in on the picture that someone posted on Twix, because it's not Twitter, and I refuse to call it X, so we call it Twix. Somebody tweeted a picture of the new H2D, and somebody says there is a somebody said that there is a laser cutter built into it, like they have a laser cutter option. I don't know.
I read that as well, that it might have laser cutter, laser engraver. It does apparently it's not powerful enough to actually cut, but it can engrave.
If they made us wait, I'll just tell you this right here. If they made us wait this long for this, you'll probably see my channel get closed down. If they made me wait for this piece of crap, I'll be pretty mad. I'll just say that. I'll be pretty upset.
Is that a dual head?
It is.
It better rotate, it better do some craziness, and it better be a little bit bigger than this, because this is some weak sauce, and it better have a better interface than this.
Yeah, apparently it's like 325, 350.
Yeah, if you scroll in, it says 350 by 320 by 325, and I'm like, I loved the symmetry of 256, 256, 256, and here they just threw that out the window. I'm like, God.
And there's a lot of reasons why the sizes are what they are, and it gets so expensive to get a particular size.
There better be some revolutionary like AMS technology or whatever, but if this is it, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
I wonder how the AMS works with a dual extruder.
Yeah, because this looks like the X1C and the P1S had a baby, and it grew up a little bit.
and maybe
they
did
this thing out last September. I'm sorry, but there better be like some craziness with this, because this thing is. They could have had this out last year.
If I have to assume, and I don't like doing that, I would say that they're probably doing some funky stuff with software behind it that might make it better than what the printer looks.
Yeah, I can see there's a big advantage to having a dual extruder, so you could have two different types of materials. So you could have TPU in one extruder and PLA or something in the other. One that it doesn't go through the AMS. But how would you handle a dual extruder with the AMS?
Yeah, see,
There was a picture, someone put out a picture, or might have been the patent filing of the Neo AMS that might have a way to route filament to both extruders.
It sounds like it'd be just a user interface nightmare of, okay, you'd want to not use the PETG in the same nozzle as PLA.
Yeah, so you don't have to flush it out, or support material, right? You don't
Right,
have
that's what
to
I'm
flush the
talking about.
support material out. And I see value to that, right? Because that's the one time I had my extruder clog really hard on me, is when I was trying to use PETG as support for PLA. And there was a bug like a year ago where it wouldn't heat up enough to push it all out. They fixed it in one of the builds, but there was a known issue where trying to switch filaments could lead to a clog because of the vast, going from 220 to 250 and back and forth. Anyway,
My other two printers have dual heads.
oh, so you got a full IDEX setup?
And it's built into the printer.
Okay. I like the fact that there's a glass window on the side, because I
Is that
can't
really,
say
or is that the bed?
I'm looking at the printer itself, and yeah,
And what I'm thinking is that's a bed storage.
it looks like glass because you can see the light shining through.
yeah. That's my
Yeah.
thought, is it's glass, and if it is glass, I like that.
And
there's so many
see,
times I want
see
to
how this glass is tinted green, and this is
Yeah.
tinted green too. I thought it was
Which-
glass as well, but I do see your point, Mark. But I don't see the Robert. I don't see the tabs for a build plate.
Yeah.
See the two tabs on it right there.
Oh, and Doc said that he's thinking they might support having two different size nozzles. That was
Now,
something
that
somebody was
would be interesting.
Yeah, because somebody was saying for infill, go like super big, and you only have to have one line,
And
and
then like a 0.2 for the very outside layer. Right
yeah,
there.
yeah, the very outside, yeah. I like the
Then but it
glass.
gets into a user interface nightmare, or of what happens when you're printing two different layer thicknesses, and
Mm.
the complexities of that would get really complex.
There's some people who have like written G code that does it, but you're right, it's not mainstream. But Bamboo's got a lot of smart programmers. I'm sure sure they can figure that out. But Doc,
I've done
thanks
it
They'll
for-
steal
before,
it from
but-
somebody, right?
And that's been done. That's actually a common thing with some other printers,
Okay.
other brands.
To answer your question, Doc, I like the window on the side, because there's been times where something looks like it might have failed on the back of
Yeah,
the print,
I was
and
gonna
I
say
can't
that.
see it.
You can see
Yeah.
back here if there's glass on the side where you can't see. But I think that's why they put glass on the top too. But if you have your AMS on the top,
Yeah.
then you can't see the back.
Yeah, and you also have to get, like, depending where you have your printer, you have to get a step stool out to look down on it.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't have the AMS on there.
Yeah,
or you
I would
really-
like to have it on. The only thing that I'm worried about here, hopefully it's like just not plexiglass, but it's some sort of thermal glass without
Yeah.
making this thing $3,000.
Yep.
It's just keeping the chamber hot or whatever.
Yep.
And active chamber heating, please.
Yes,
Oh my God.
Yes, that would be awesome too. And maybe active heating in the AMS and active drying in
Yes.
the AMS would be really cool too.
Yep.
I want to be like thump my fist on my chest and not what is that?
Oh
It's
yeah, we
a
have Robert's
nozzle straightener.
pictures. A
Oh, I'm
nozzle
sorry, Robert.
straightener.
Yeah,
What?
you put a nut in those holes, and then a screw goes in the side holes. This particular nozzle isn't un, crooked, but I bent some nozzles.
Yeah, I bent
I
one and
have
they told me
two.
to throw it out and I haven't, so I'm interested in this.
Yeah, this is on Maker World. Oh, the one problem that this one has is it's designed for a square nut, not a hex nut.
Ah,
And I
okay.
don't have any 3 millimeter or square nuts.
Okay.
Interesting. This is really, really cool. This is on your Maker World site
No, this
already?
is one that somebody else did. It's
Oh,
on Maker World. Oh, and I didn't read the comments or read the instructions until after I printed it. And damn it, I thought that was a hex nut hole.
Well, if it's really tight, it still might work with a hex.
Yeah,
No.
I'm sure, and I'm sure with a soldering iron I could force a hex nut in there. And this is probably starting to get to the limits of strength of material for not having a threaded insert there.
Yep.
really,
And
really
so
cool.
it has two different ones, one for mounting the pushing it left and right, one for you rotate the heatsink 90 degrees.
So it can go this way or this way if you put it in this, the one on the right.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
I wouldn't leave
I
the
have a
heater
couple
on.
of these that can go in here to be straightened from doing the same thing that Colorado Adventure Club said and starting a print while the old one was still on the plate. Done that a couple times. That's funny. All right, let's see what's next. All right, what is this?
It's a hex key pivot. It's a finger pivot. So you're the tip of the pivot or the corner of the hex key. You can stick your finger on the end, and it's a little cup up there. And it also allows. I can hang it on my wall. Show some of the other pictures.
Yep.
So the same thing can sit either that way or this way, and they're all color coded, so it's easy to throw them back in the
Mm.
right place.
Oh, it's color coded right here. Oh, yeah, that's really, really cool.
And on my original idea is that, and I would, instead of the bottom, where the text is, that's on the build plate. So that's only a couple layers of filament change, but I didn't want all the vertical lines and to need a filament change for every layer. So I thought, I'll just print that separately. But I wish I would have just accepted the poop and let those little pieces are a pain in the butt to glue in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes getting too cute ain't the right answer.
So I uploaded the model for this onto Maker World, and I included both models or both build plates, one with this and one with it assembled.
Yeah, this
Then
is
the
a
other
good idea.
interesting thing is on the back of this. I don't think I sent you a picture of this, but on the back of it, I have it holding on there with the 4 millimeter bolt. Well, that fits into the keyway.
Ah,
But I also have the pieces for the IKEA. I think they call it SCADAS.
Got it. Yep.
mm-hmm.
And so you can either put the bolts in or the SCADAS in. And if it comes off easy, that's fine. And where I normally don't work at my workbench, I work at my desk. So I want to be able to take it off my shop wall and put it in my office. So that's why I want it to work well either on a table or on the wall.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the color coding of it as well, because all of these organizations are good, but if you can't like easily put it back in the right spot, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So
Is
this
that a
is
4 or
nice.
4.5?
Yeah, yeah, but if you can just, and then you just remember which one is the color eventually as you use these things, and it makes it way easier to use the organization. So I really like the idea of color coordinating it and making it easy to get it in and out of the holder. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, wow, we went almost 2 hours this week. This is
Oh,
really cool with having uh, multiple people on here to give commentary. I think this is the last picture you sent, right, Robert? Yep.
yep.
So, yeah, that's all we have for this week. Be sure to smash the like button if you liked anything that you saw tonight. Thank you, Robert, for joining us. Thank you, Hotfix, for joining us. Mark, thank you for joining us while you were here. Colorado Adventure Club, thank you for joining us. And Gabriel, also thank you for joining us. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will have a video out tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, great seeing everybody, or great hearing you, everybody. Talk to you later.
Later, guys.